You're live.
Were we not live before?
You're live on there. You were
Oh,
live on
okay.
Instagram.
I don't know what we were live on. I just assume my life is being recorded. So here's the cool thing that happened, Evan. In the era of Me Too, what most people don't understand about my practice is 2 years ago I started filming everything. But what it's become is it's like the police. Because now people are saying I'm, abusing people and whatever, and I'm like, no, I got the footage. You can play it back and watch. Like, you can subscribe for free and check it out. And they're like, oh shit, we can't just like make up stories about Robert because he films everything. It's like, yeah, see how that works?
It's for insurance.
As much as education. As much as education. How's that right there?
It's good.
Good. Now, if I lean like a little more towards the wrist, or more towards the elbow, I actually know the difference between those two. I'm a seasoned body worker, 17 years.
There's more intense towards the elbow.
You want towards the elbow then?
Yeah.
Is that what you want? There you go.
Yeah, I can feel that.
There you go. And then what happens if you just slightly? Because you can kind of work through it. You don't have to, but it's like some people actually like kind of moving around and kind of working through it. Like, Robert said this. No, that's not what it said. Here's the video and the transcript. I have evidence. How about that? My whole life, it's like an episode of Forensic Files. I need to get that guy to narrate some of my videos. Due to the blood splatter evidence, you can tell the man was bludgeoned to death with a ball-peen hammer. This is very hard work. It really stresses me out as a massage therapist. Makes me very uncomfortable.
I can tell.
I'm developing tarsal syndrome. Tarsal tunnel syndrome. Yes. And let's slowly just let it rest. You shake it out for a second. There you go. And I'm just going to slowly back off. Tarsal tunnel syndrome. My feet, they kill me.
Sebastian. He's just going to back up.
Over to everybody?
No, he's just going to move to the mat.
Oh, sorry.
You're in school, Evan?
Yeah, I'm working.
What are you doing for work?
Software developer.
Do you like it?
Looking for a better place.
You're following your hopes and dreams, writing the zeros and ones, huh?
I am.
Writing code. It's everything you wanted to do when you're in kindergarten. I want to write code.
Pushing pixels. It's great.
You don't want to be a cog in the corporate machinery?
No, not really.
Oh, really? Come on. What are you doing? This is America now. How's this back here?
Yeah, that's pretty, like right there. It's pretty
Like
tight.
tricep.
What did you say you wanted to be when you were a little kid?
Probably a superhero.
You are a superhero, sir. You're a commissage jam. Everybody's a superhero here. Right in there.
Yeah, right
I love
there.
how Facebook likes to update their algorithm every day. Now it's different.
Right in there.
Yeah.
Is it too much?
No,
So
it's
when
good.
my thumb goes down, is that too sharp right there?
No,
Okay.
that's good. It's interesting to see that's tight.
Is that too much? There we go.
When I was a little kid, I told
Mom's in the house.
Uh-oh, my mom's always there.
when I was a little kid, I told my family, I said, I want to be a farmer with a kid for every job.
Kid for every job.
Yeah, that's what they did back in the day.
Apparently
work done.
optimization was already in my head. Yeah, that was pretty much how it rolled.
I'm gonna have to start like giving my mom money so that when like haters come on and start saying stuff about me, she goes and attacks them. Like online, Just like slide her a little money under the table. We have like, it could be like an online gang of people who do that. About 10 of them,
Get a crew.
You could have a fan page. Oh, there's money in that. Merch.
T-shirts.
Right there. If I sink down, is it too close? Like, does it feel kind of sharp?
That's, yeah, a
A
little
little bit.
sharp.
Now, if I pull just a little bit away, maybe right there.
It's right in that muscle. I don't know.
Still pretty sharp?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it too much right there?
No.
All right.
It's okay.
So can you very slowly, gently, can you kind of straighten your arm? There you go. And
It's
then bend it
funny.
at the elbow.
When you said that, my first thought was,
That's
oh man, they should invent a game where you have to make fun of people. And then I was like, oh wait, they invented Facebook.
And then what happens if you come up this way?
Nobody knew.
It's not as bad.
Not as bad. And then back.
Yeah, it's like right there.
Yeah. Is it too much pull?
Yeah, I think
Too much skin?
maybe. I don't know.
So give me just a second. I'll reposition just a little bit. Oof. A state of oof has been declared. A lot of people have more issues up at this, I don't know what they call it, more like towards the origin instead of the insertion, but yours is like a little more tender down here. Yeah. How's the bicep?
Bad.
Not as tender? Doesn't feel as
No,
bad.
no, it's still pretty loose.
Doesn't feel as tight. And take the arm. So Evan, after 17 years, I talked to massage therapists in class, and they're asking me about magic energy lines.
Okay.
They want to wave crystals, talk to Jivaka and the Buddha, go back to a 2,500-year-old tradition that is unbroken lineage, the masters, the Reusi.
Okay.
And I go, can we help people in pain? And they're like, no, tradition, lineage, right? And I go, can we help people? Like, Evan's got arm pain. Would you just let me work on the guy? And I go, but I mean, science is magic, right? Like,
Kinda,
it
yeah.
explains why stuff works.
No mansplaining.
Oh, well. But I get the sense that anything I mansplain is just me trying to explain my position, and they're like, fuck you, you're a man. I'm like, I know, I can't really do anything about that.
Well, you can.
Well, I could, I guess, if I was dedicated. How's that?
It's good.
Not too sharp?
Yeah.
There you go. So I tell them something, like they keep pestering me because they want theory. They want a theory that explains. Like in programming, right? Mm-hmm. And essentially it's going to go back to math. It's going to go on and off, zeros and ones, you know. There's a fairly consistent mathematical physics reason why it does what it does, based on language, based on the hardware. Mm-hmm. Biology, DNA, you know, chemistry, physics, some, but like basically after 17 years, I still mash on people for a living. Right. I mean, it's like we can make it as complicated as we want. Like I mash on people for a living. Now it could be very artistic mashing, but it's still just mashing on people for a living. So when the students pester me, I say, listen, here's what I want you to do. I want you to quiet your mind. If we have to, we can all take 500 micrograms of LSD, okay? And we're going to think about this for 12 hours.
Straight.
I want you to pick up the client. I want you to move them around. I want you to find the tension and release it. That's your theory. And they're like, oh, but we want the magic tie theory. And I'm like, no, that's a lie. How about that?
Oh, Lynn Schroninger, I am here. On YouTube.
How's it going?
All I needed you to do was mention LSD, and I finally hit my hands.
And it's not even like poking at a tradition. It's just like, do yoga teachers really think that nadis and prana are real things?
Over my head.
And then various Asian traditions have different, like, meridians, chi, like, very similar sort of things that are, you know, not exactly the same.
People have wanted fancy explanations for millennia. So it makes sense that there would be some things in the yogic traditions that are fancy explanations because people needed a fancy explanation. And really it's a simple thing.
Do you want to move it at all? Like, because you can if you want, if it helps.
As is quoted in the biblical stuff, it's, we want a king, give us a king. So they gave him a king. We want commandments, Give us commandments. All those things were kind of demanded for by the simpletons.
See, who taught me the magic secret of beating people into the mat?
His arm not broken.
How's your wrist feel?
Is now.
You felt it there? Yeah, let go.
It looks like it's broken.
Man, I'm just floppy.
You're like, you're not supposed to do that. It's not safe. It's a contraindication. It's like, I love that massage therapists get angry at like the most small things I say, and then when I point out that there's like an Oxycontin epidemic, like the largest opiate epidemic that's ever been in the United States, there's like a deafening echo.
Sebastian, why are they limiting access to sharing to groups?
When they start doing that?
I'm asking you, you're the guy.
How's that?
No, I haven't shared anything in the group.
Not too much?
That's fine.
Probably
Go back.
a month and a half. But you can't, they're not letting you share it to group
I have to go into desktop.
Too much?
on the computer.
It's
Just when it
like
fell?
It's like that
Well,
right,
that's
that
that
one
way.
spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it won't let you
It's
off.
like
That's
I
a
had to
new
do it
spot for
one-on-one.
me.
You can't do a batch.
That's weird. Were you dropping a batch before or what?
Yeah.
I've been banned from so many, like 24-hour bans recently because I keep sharing stuff and they keep, I don't know, I guess their AI picks it up.
I enjoyed that as well.
Did you know that my YouTube channel is full of sexually stimulating content?
Well, your YouTube.
Have you looked at me, Evan? Are you attracted to me, Evan? That's what
not
I'm really
where I
saying.
go for it.
I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, have you seen what's on YouTube? Like, my people are all clothed. What the hell is going on here? What the hell is your AI picking up? They like demonetized my channel.
Yeah. That's going around.
Yeah. And then it's with the Child Something Protection Act. What was it?
Oh man, no.
That's a little better. A little bit. If I press up into it, how's that?
COPPA?
Not too much?
That's fine.
Okay. So I'm gonna use another tool, but I just wanted to see it. I want to make sure it wasn't like overly sore. If I come in, let's see if I can do this. There we
I want to know
go.
where this is at so they can take a lesson.
How's that? Where's this at?
Yeah.
This is a Time Massage Jam. Every first and third Thursday night. There's only, 900 videos on the YouTube channel. There's another 424 hours of culturally appropriated material that you can use to your advantage. They're like, you're not funny. And I'm like, I know, it was a horrible stand-up. It just didn't work. I was mainly just angry at the audience, which isn't really what you're trying to do. I mean, you can be angry at the audience, but you got to make them laugh while you make fun of them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But yeah, tons of material. Trent is kind of working with me. We want to do kind of interactive online classes, but we have to teach people to learn that way. If I go just a little bit higher, is that better?
Yeah.
You prefer that to where it was on closer to the elbow?
Well, no, it's like I'm not getting as much of the tension there.
Yeah. A little bit lower?
Yeah, that's good.
There we go. Now, if I press you right there, is that too much? Is that too much?
No.
Either side?
I'm feeling it on the opposite side now.
Okay, then there, where my leg is?
Yeah.
Can you bend your arm slowly without punching me in the face? I mean, unless you have a problem with cultural appropriation, then please, just beat me to death. You go out, you work hard, you try to share work, you try to help people, you try to ease suffering. I think that was part of what the Buddha was trying to do.
Nope.
And they're like, what? You culturally appropriated Buddhism. I'm like, whoa, hold on. Maybe me and the Buddha got like similar ideas. We're just trying to help people. Relax.
How dare you take his idea?
Little jostle, does that help? Take the Buddha's idea?
Of helping people. That was his idea. Don't do that.
Is that too much?
Only he can do that. No, that's good.
Okay, just making sure because it's both sides now, so. There you go. And what I do is I trick the client into working on my thigh. It's nice.
17?
17. Jesus.
Were you losing some blood flow there?
Yeah, I know. I'm not being very
Maybe a little.
No, but I was just giving it a second just to
Yeah.
flush
That's
through.
why you have to do it on the computer now, huh?
Maybe. But, this is inconvenient because I need to.
Is that too sharp?
No, that's good.
And I could see where your eyes started to roll back, like it felt good, like you were
'Cause every
falling
single
into
time
it.
I do too much,
There
I
you
can't
go.
see the chat.
There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Better? Or
I'm
better?
moving too fast. I guess.
Which one you prefer, that?
Have
That's
you seen
really good
Gary
right
Vee
there.
started
Okay.
to do sign language inside of his video?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's smart.
Closer to the elbow?
Yeah, closer to the elbow.
There you go. There you go. Now, if we had another person who was having a problem with their leg, I could just use your arm and then work on their leg through your arm. That would work. I mean, but I'll work on me. It's okay.
Double duty.
There you go. Tandem. The ancient mashing techniques of bipedal hominids. Yes. We basically used to grunt around a campfire and do this. Oh, because you threw a spear and your arm hurt. Oh. Let's give it just a second. Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Just in that little area.
I'm really feeling it.
Yeah. I mean, I can go a little bit higher or like work on it some more. I just wanted to see how it felt. Give it a second to rest. Oh, see, you relaxed. That's the way you're supposed to be. How's it feel?
Good.
You want some on the other arm? Or you want some more on here?
Let's even it out. I think this one's had a
Mary,
lot.
Mary Baby says, bah ha ha, tricking client into working on your thigh.
That's right. Arm and hand or more up here?
Yeah, like I'm feeling
Ooh,
it in the shoulder.
this feels a little tighter up here.
Yeah.
When you feel it in the shoulder, is it in the joint?
It's more like
Like in the
over
back?
here.
Okay, so I'll take a look and see.
Yeah, I've
Back
got
here?
weak shoulders. Yeah.
Right there? There we go. It's kind of a tough area.
Yeah.
Too much right there? Too sharp?
It's pretty sharp, but it's okay, maybe a little too sharp.
It's like being prison shanked. It's like a shiv. Right in between the ribs. Ugh. Right there?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I can give you broader pressure. I just wanted to feel with my fingers, kind of see what's going on.
Yeah.
But the whole general area is kind of tight, right? Let me see here. How's that right there? Is that too much?
No, it's good.
Okay.
It's not as intense. Ugh.
What's going on with the free trial?
Free trial? Well, it's free. You can go in there and watch whatever you want. You can go in there and you could like misquote me and call me a misogynist and mansplaining asshat and do whatever you need to do. Whatever is your heart's desire. Right, Evan?
Yeah.
Evan had no idea what he was walking into today. Is that too much? Too much?
Good.
There we go. Is it too sharp?
It's close, but it's good.
How are we at the elbow?
The elbow.
Up here.
Maybe a little less pressure.
A little pressure? I might want to change it just a little bit. How's that?
That's good.
Is that better?
Yeah.
There we go. And where my knee is?
Knee's good.
Okay. Right there. Up or down? Or both?
How can they get access to
Okay.
the free trial?
Back and forth?
Yeah, it's good.
There's some sort of link. Something on the internet. Why am I so ornery all the time?
You gotta gas it up.
Well, so listen, I changed my diet so I'm not achy, but it's going to take a while for the ornery to go away. It's like crafted over 20 years. Too much, Evan?
Yeah, feeling it in the muscle there.
Okay, so give me just a second. How's that?
That's good.
There we go.
Yeah, I was thinking, and it seems like it gets easier.
How's that where my knee is?
Good.
There we go. Lots of different options depending on where somebody's having problems.
So how did you get started in this?
I was gifted with a drunk driver hitting a car I was in, had a horrible whiplash. I had horrible pain that was essentially meant I was going to wind up becoming a junkie. Like I had to get better or figure it out. And I don't know if you know, Evan, but our wonderful medical system didn't really help me out.
Yeah, it's kind of prone to do that.
They ran x-rays and said, but there's nothing wrong with you. And I'm like, I need to shoot heroin. So I had a massage, make a long story short, went to massage school, helped, kept kind of peeling back layers, got into Thai massage, got into yoga a year after I started working, and basically started mixing, matching, blending, and breaking all the rules and traditions because I'm a white guy living in America trying to make it up. And I grew up in Baton Rouge, which is like an hour away from New Orleans, which is like the birthplace of jazz, right? So is jazz African music? Is it European music? Or is it Caribbean music?
Oh, God.
Aha! Exactly. So it's like, yeah. And it's sort of that thing, like I'm sort of a syncretist. I just grab stuff and go, does it work? Okay, let's use it. Let's go. People need help. Let's get them off the needle. How's that right there?
That's good.
Not too sharp?
No.
Okay. Do you have a preference if I move like lower towards your feet?
Yeah, try a little.
Just a little bit? Okay, so give me just a second. Just want to see right there. Give it a second. How's that there? Still a good spot?
Yeah.
Okay. So I basically just dedicated my life to being like, it's kind of like the dude from The Big Lebowski. There was a whole lot of weed and white Russians, but then I was like standing on a rug, you know, kind of trying to align my chi and meridians, you know. But when you got good at it, you could do it to other people.
Crazy ex that would find that. All up in my shit. What were you doing? You were helping your friend? Oh, Lord.
How's that?
So that's my pride.
Good spot?
Yeah.
Not too much on your shoulder there?
I'm kind of feeling it in the neck here.
Just a little
Starting
bit?
to get tight.
Okay, we're going to change it up in a second. See if we can do something similar, but take some of the pressure off there. And it's probably just because of the length right here. Yeah. So give me just a second. Put it down. The shoulder there. That little clack.
Yeah, it feels good.
Yeah. Open it up. There we go. How's that?
Much better.
There we go. How's that where my foot is? Good spot? Not as sharp as the knee?
No.
So lift your head up for me a little bit. There we go. I'm going to see if I can do this. I don't know if I've ever combined the two. There we go. How's that where this is?
Good.
Right there?
Yeah.
There we go. How's that on your neck now?
Much better.
Good, now I can work on both. How's that?
Strud said he's gonna have to try this on Facebook.
Don't try this, it's illegal. You need a massage license. Somebody might get injured. The manipulation of soft tissue is fiercely contested. This is almost like a speakeasy, you know what I'm saying? Except we stream it worldwide. This is like prohibition. Hey Carlton, how you doing? It is Carlton, right? Yes. I did get it right. Good, good. Too much right there?
That's good.
Okay, on the neck, if I pull you over back towards me or away, which one feels better?
Towards.
Towards, right there?
Yeah.
If I give you a little bit more right there.
Yeah.
There we go.
230 for one?
So what do you notice more? Is it the rotator cuff and the shoulder blade, or is it the stuff in the neck?
Well, I'm feeling, You mean manipulation-wise? What do you?
Yeah, because sometimes you'll have when I give somebody multiple sensations or do multiple things, it's kind of like you can juggle. You can go from one to the other, and I didn't know if one was more intense than the other.
Definitely the shoulders more.
Shoulder was more intense. Okay, all right there. There we go. And if I let your neck roll back and forth, that's fine.
Yeah, that's okay.
There we go.
Like, it's got more support.
How can they take advantage of the holiday sale?
They click on a link. There's something on the internet. It's on our website.
What is a link?
What is a link? That's a good question. I should think about that for 12 hours. What is a link? You're a programmer. You're like, it's a bit of code that, I don't know. They click on it, it does stuff, man.
It's just black magic. It's sorcery.
It's black magic.
Don't go into it, man. Scary shit.
Yeah. So yeah, the holiday trial, I'm assuming Trent put up links probably on the video. The free trial is there. You can access the vault. We call it the vault now. It's got like 424 hours of my classes on it. The free trial is free for your first month, it's $7 a month after that. And then also the 20% off sale, we have workbooks and DVDs. There are 700 pages of sequence manuals and 9 DVDs that I wrote that you can access the digital copies. I think it's like 20% off for the holidays on the digital stuff. Is that too much there?
That's good.
It's good right there.
Yeah.
Do you like when I pull on the shoulder?
Yeah.
Okay. So not just here, but like generally when I traction it?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good.
But does it feel better with the hand there too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I can feel that. Ugh.
There you go. So you ready? This is advanced.
Oh boy.
This is advanced. Now, and this is what freaks them out when I say, yeah, I've never really done this before. They're like, what? Oh my God. What do you mean? Well, no, I just experiment on Evan when it comes to the Thai massage channel.
What do you think about the current state of massage on Facebook?
The current state of massage, there's massage on Facebook? His name is Mr. Pure Relief. He's wonderful. I want to promote him to mod of massage entrepreneurs. Because Mr. Pure Relief, you got it, buddy.
Too sharp in the back.
Too sharp? In the back? Okay. So I'm going to change it just a little bit. If I move just a little bit like that, is that better?
That's a little better.
A little better? Okay. So I'm going to see if we can improve it here. I'm trying to think about how I can make this a little softer. How's that right there? Still sharp. Sometimes it's just positioning. Yeah. There you go. How's that? There.
So three sets of back.
But just in general, what is
One click.
Click, 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 click.
Off the top of my head. Because the two things that are most important are like the return and then it's easier to flashlight mode. If you want to do that,
I get lazy.
I don't know what's going on today. It's weird.
I don't think they like speak
Maybe they got a radio or something.
Is that too much there, Evan? If I hook in right there, do you still prefer up towards the elbow or towards the wrist? Kind of up towards the elbow? Or back towards the wrist?
Towards the elbow.
Towards the elbow a little bit? Maybe right about right there? There we go. And then you can move the hands, fingers if you want to.
How's your head stability?
Well, I've been working on
Sebastian, you go by any nicknames?
SAB.
Yeah, SAB, SAB.
Sab? Okay.
Stuff I
Was wondering.
getting
For a little kid like Sebastian's, a lot of syllables.
Long version.
apparently I'm
What
not
is it?
engaging my
I don't know. I'm not saying it.
privilege properly. It's over flexible. And
Oh,
so my
essay to the,
supportive
no.
muscle.
Okay, yeah.
Carlton, is your friend coming? What's her name? What's her name again? Ruthie, that was it, yeah. I see her social media stuff float through my feed sometimes. I couldn't remember her name just off the top of my head. Yeah.
faces?
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
What happens to give me a little of this, Evan?
guys like
Yeah, I just need it. It got caught.
pretty.
To be honest, last time I had it,
But
I
I'm
had
still
it on the
dealing
other way,
with the
so
fallout.
maybe I should do that.
Like
Yeah, just let it relax.
bands that were pulling my
You gotta have the
shoulders
collar.
back. I was doing all sorts of stuff.
I had the collar.
So it's interesting. We do videos at the jam, and like the people who watch at home, they get angry because you're talking. Why aren't you being quiet and listening to the teacher, Carlton?
What teacher? Who's the teacher?
Exactly. I'm like, what? That's not what the Time and Size Jam is. Yeah. But I mean, I understand they tune in and they want to learn something, and they can. But it's like it's a jam. It's supposed to be hanging out. It's like people would ask me what the jam was, and I was like, it's like Massage School hit Burning Man. How's that right there? Is that too much, Evan? How old are you, Evan? How old are you?
Top to top.
31.
31? Phew, I didn't think you were nearly 30s, man. You told me 22. I'm like, yes, he's 22. Right there? Is the pressure too much? No. So, do you know for New Mexico, is this like a traditional, like native symbol?
It is.
What does it mean? Is it the sun?
So it's appropriated from one of the native tribes there,
Yeah.
and that is as far as I'm willing to go without perjuring myself.
Interesting. Yeah, because I don't know exactly what it is.
Yeah. But it's a Zia, and it's beautiful.
Interesting.
It's home to me.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I'll always continue to teach, but typically, like a new person like Evan will come in, I work with him, kind of roll him into the mix, make him work on me, and then everybody else, typically they know a little, they just kind of start working on each other and start partnering up. If we get more people, it tends to be a bit more boisterous. If we're not filming, we play music, but it's more like, I don't know, more Chiba and the Beatles and whatever else.
Well, we can't play that. We will definitely.
Yeah,
They
can't
will
play
cut this
background.
live stream off.
But then if more Chiba was here and like played, is that okay?
If it's alive, yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Miss you too, bro. Well,
I mean, I guess
Their recording contract.
the recording studio might try to get their money out of it. They're like, we still own the rights to that, though. You might have wrote it.
I don't even understand what
yeah.
YouTube is doing anymore.
At the Logic concert, I did some video and then got, just doing it.
Little clips.
Got you.
Yeah.
They want their money. But then they release it later on, too.
Yeah.
Because they're like, we got our money.
Yeah, they release clips of like the concert and stuff, and then it's under the.
How do you feel about that, Evan? 31 years old.
About what?
Pirating music. You evil, evil bastard.
Can't be done.
You people just take whatever you want, Evan.
Yeah. I just feel so entitled.
Do you eat avocado toast?
No. That is not my jam.
I just think, when I talk to musicians about it, like, okay, so my stuff, I have workbooks and DVDs. I wrote like 700 pages sequence manuals and 9 DVDs, like core content before we got to subscription. And people will look at it and they're like, oh, but the problem is it's digital. And I'm like, why is that a problem? And they're like, well, people could steal it. And I'm like, they could put it on the Pirate Bay. And I'm like, and make me the Metallica of body workers? Like, what are you, like, if a guy from New Mexico wrote me and said, hey, I'm too broke, I can't afford it, I'd probably just give him a coupon code and go, here, it's free, whatever. Like, it's no big deal, it's digital, right? It's like, I'm not hoarding information, I'm not smog here. Like, I'm trying to help people.
You're not getting taken away from me.
Well, it's sort of like, if I do this to you, then you won't come pay me for a class to learn it.
Have you heard that new...
But that's exactly what they think. And I'm like, no, listen.
Flatbush?
I know how. I mean, I'm not much of a manly man, but I know how to change the oil in my car. How often do I change the oil in my car?
Monica?
No, I pay somebody else to do it. I'm like, just do the thing. Here's some money. Change the oil.
No big deal.
It's too much?
That's good.
So from a music standpoint, I think musicians have to sell merch. Beer koozies, ping pong paddles, bongs,
Well, like they get ripped off by the album or what
But the recording company, but now you don't need the recording company. And that's what I don't understand. I'm like, you can get on Twitch and play the Friday night pajama party from like 11 to 1 a.m. every Friday night, and your fans can give you money live. And they're like,
not a bad idea.
well, that's not how... What, how the fucking Rolling Stones did it in 1968? Like, shit evolves, bro. Like, come on.
True.
They're going to steal your music, Josh?
Please.
When does Tech 9 come in? When does Tech 9 come in?
The Austin.
At the end?
Oh yeah, he's like, yeah, he has the last verse. I was like,
Is it too much of?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So open source software.
All for it.
All for it? Okay, yeah. And I have a programmer friend, we talk about this all the time, and it's sort of like, I'm actually surprised because I'm trying to innovate within the massage community, but it's mainly in relation to education and providing information in digital format that you can scale out.
All right.
Whereas he's working on like open source software, and it's like, would think that software companies and tech industry wants to evolve extremely rapidly. But it's weird because I talk to him and it's kind of like, well, they don't want to mess up their profit stream. And I'm like, oh, come on. So it's like, he's like, yeah, they kind of slow down and want to maintain stuff to be safe and secure. And I'm like, move fast, break stuff.
I mean, it's like a war of two sides, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know? And the open source stuff, they make good stuff. It's for everybody. Anybody can improve on it. It's just, it's got all the benefits except money.
Yeah.
That's the sad thing.
But at a certain point, don't we have enough resources that we don't have to worry about it anymore? I mean, it's not Star Trek. We don't got to like what's the thing with the food?
I know what you mean.
Yeah,
like
whatever
the
that was.
microwave thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, love to get there for sure.
I mean, so music, okay, bands, and I've noticed this over the years. I was a big fan of like album-oriented rock, Pink Floyd, like album-oriented rock, like late '70s sort of stuff. And then, where's it going with that? I had some point I was trying to make. Album-oriented rock.
The singles after? I don't know.
No, I was going somewhere with that.
Then CDs came.
No, I mean that changes, but I'm trying to think about like where I was going, because we were talking about open source software, people having money, share like music. Oh, okay. Here's what it was with bands. Like I would read stuff from bands. Like I was a big fan of like Fish and the Grateful Dead, both jam bands, right? Kind of influenced each other in various ways, especially as far as like their fan base. But they were very like free with like music distribution. Like the Grateful Dead, one of the first bands that just allowed live taping and trading. So what they did is they created this entire pre-internet underground sort of fan base that were taping and trading the shows.
Original bootlegs.
Yeah, so you wanted to hear, oh, did you hear from the Spectrum in Philly, man? You know, whatever, 74 or whatever it was. So that model sort of like seeped into the way I looked at things. Like me working on you and making a YouTube video and distributing this, I didn't feel diminished in any way. If anything, people got a chance to hang out with you, decided whether you were mansplaining, misogynist, asshat, asshole, whatever, and then, you know, but then you're like, yeah, but they're not going to sit around forever. Your fans are going to stay. So you had a chance to continue to build friendship and rapport with the people that you actually wanted to work with and that wanted to work with you. Like you got more out of just giving it away than you did in like hoarding it and saying, putting up a paywall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The abundance mindset.
Maybe.
There's definitely something to that.
Well, I mean, but in tech, it's interesting because tech continues to eat industries in various ways, because I think the cab industry didn't see Uber coming, and the hotel industry didn't see Airbnb coming, and massage therapists.
They don't see you coming?
Well, I mean, it's not the same thing. I mean, it's different. It's just technology, though, is what's facilitated those changes. Like, in other words, Airbnb and Uber, they're using technology basically related to smartphones to be able to facilitate those processes. And I don't see them slowing down. I see them ramping up. And meantime, people go, but we have laws. We resist change. We don't like change. And I'm like, hey, I thought that was like a fundamental tenet of Buddhism. It was this thing called impermanence.
Okay. It's always progressing. It's always shifting. And like,
Too much?
Nah, I good.
Okay, just making sure. I don't know.
Hey, Robert, what's the lack of airflow in here?
Airflow.
I think they lost their AC, right?
Yeah, you're talking so much.
Well, the temperature is such that I don't know if is it the AC on or can we turn it on or you guys can check it and see.
I think you have to jump in the ball pit.
Yeah, it's over there.
It's the beauty of watching on screen.
I'm wearing the sweater already.
So it's like they don't want to change things, but they don't want to change it too fast. But then when it came to music, it's like, dude, this isn't 1972 anymore. Like, you don't need a record company. You can just go direct to your consumer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I like Bandcamp. It's like, that's where, if I want
Oh,
to
it's
get an
not
album
broken.
from somewhere, I pay them directly.
What is Bandcamp?
It's like this website where a lot of bands, they put up their albums and you can pay for a song, and you can pay for the whole album, and they'll let you play it.
Yeah,
It's great.
interesting.
It's usually like a 90-10 split.
Interesting.
What was that?
Bandcamp?
Oh, Bandcamp?
Yeah. I mean, I just think it's just a different way of dealing with distribution. For me to, like, we got on Twitch. This has been a couple years ago. No, not a couple, maybe a year ago. And literally Twitch for me, it was like I put my phone on a tripod and just like live streamed an entire class. Because I was testing the massage marketplace, and basically the #1 comment when I posted this through Facebook was, "What's Twitch?" And it was like, oh wow, they don't even realize that there are other platforms. Like the technology, you know.
Yeah, like Twitch.
Like
I got a couple of
flat
friends
fee,
who
unlimited
stream on there,
release.
and it's just like.
So if you're Russ,
I don't-
he's good because
I don't get it,
he's
but
making
like,
it.
there's
You know,
a
like,
lot of
but even before he
opportunity
made
out
it, he
there.
was making it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
So it also is diversified where, like, I could watch women, they would
But
sculpt
if I put out
or like make art, or like, man, I'm serious. There's like a lady making popsicle stick art.
I'm just down.
And she's sitting there for hours, like crafting with popsicle sticks and glitter and Elmer's glue, and like she's got 100 people watching her, like hanging out with her, you know, crafting stuff. And it's like those sorts of like little niche communities.
I mix it.
I mean, I think.
Is it that? Is it?
I don't know. It's like at 42, I feel almost bad for younger people and the way like older generations are kind of shitting on them.
Well,
Because I'm like,
so if I want
they grew up with the fucking internet. Like, would you let them go have fun and play video games? Like, what's the problem? I don't. They're always on their phone. It's like it's not a phone. It's a small personal computer that connects to everybody else on Earth. Sorry about that. How's your arm feel?
That's like free, right?
Pretty loose.
Good. How's the other arm?
It's also owned by Spotify, so
Cool. Let me just shake out your hips and we'll finish up.
all right.
I just do this just to soften up. How's your low back? Did that ever bother you?
I figured out how to monetize.
Not really.
Oh, really?
I can like remember.
Are you still? I got you. You can put this leg down. You still doing a lot of acro?
No.
No.
Like,
Yeah.
There
So
you
like
go.
they
I
have to
tried,
keep
but
their
like,
music in
it was a little much
podcasts
for me.
separate.
Depending on what you're doing, it can be very physically taxing. Yeah, so yoga is about union. Comes from the same root word. It's like huge, like to yoke. You yoke the oxen, bring them together, right? So it's sort of like collapsing duality. And then meanwhile, there's 90,000 different kinds of yoga because Americans keep doing exactly the opposite. It's like, instead of bringing in the union, it's like they form new, you know? This kind of yoga, that kind of yoga.
That's the good thing about that. More niches. But yeah, overall.
Well, and they're little tribes. And what happens is the people who get into certain kinds of yoga, they actively kind of look down on different kinds of yoga. Like, so this practice is hot vinyasa. This practice is restorative. This practice, like different kinds of yoga, different physical disciplines, all within that banner of yoga. But they get kind of like tribal, where they're like, we don't like the other people's, you know. I'm just like, wow, come on, really?
Starting on Instagram?
Yeah.
There's 1 hour, right?
Yeah.
How long have you been doing?
That one might be like 10 minutes away from done.
This one.
That one.
Oh, I meant to say this one.
How far in are we, Sebastian?
I
He
don't know.
doesn't know. I'll look
I'd say about 40.
40 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just think the sort of like weird skirmish is interesting. So how long did you move from New Mexico?
I've been here 6 years.
6 years? What do you think about Texas food?
I mean, yeah, like the barbecue is great.
Yeah.
That one should be coming chili on everything.
Green or red?
Oh, green.
You like green? What is about the green? A little more tart?
I just like the more smoky flavor.
Smoky flavor of
And,
green?
Red is just all burnt.
It's all burnt, you said?
It's burned.
Burned,
You know, it's all
yeah.
chemical.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Well, that's not.
But it depends. It depends on chilies, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
Because people need a little more capsaicin, a little, yeah.
So we're in the last.
But it's like hotter, and you know, sometimes I could be in the mood for that, but I really like the green.
Yeah. So food stuff is interesting to me. So we talked about yoga. We talked about like kind of massage and body work, like it changes from region to region. And then food does the same thing. And it's weird because it's like people are fiercely rabid about their local cuisine. And they like, so Texas barbecue, what do they think of the North Carolina barbecue? Oh, they're like, that's shit, pork, oh, put like vinegar in the sauce, it's horrible, you know. And I'm like, well, I mean, I kind of like both.
I mean, they're different. There's different things.
But then this is what's interesting, because once you start talking about traditional Thai massage, you ready for this?
Okay.
They're like, well, no, traditional Texas barbecue. And I'm like, dude, traditional Texas barbecue is a combination of like African American, Czech, and like Mexican. Like all, that like basically didn't exist before it sort of cropped up, you know. Like I've heard stories where in Texas, the Czechs would move in and they would make smokers, kind of like they did in Czechoslovakia. Okay. They'd make them out of wood and they'd catch on fire.
All right.
Because our climate is so different, they started making the smokers out of metal. But it's like, but they had to craft. They had to, you know, it's like, it's just so interesting to me that it's like, no, it's traditional. And then it's like tacos. So people in Austin, of course, tacos. In New Mexico, what is it, breakfast burritos?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, see?
God,
Huge, fierce debate. So what's the difference between a breakfast burrito in New Mexico and breakfast tacos in Austin?
A lot. Okay, a lot is different. It's a whole world of difference. Just you get way more in it. It's
Yeah.
a whole meal.
Yeah,
One
it's one burrito. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not a little taco. Yeah, and with beans and rice.
I mean, it depends on what you want to get in there, but like, typically what I get is egg, bacon, potato, cheese, and like, I think that's mainly it.
Oh, okay.
And like, that's a standard one.
Yeah.
But you can get crazy with like the chili, and they'll like, some places they'll smother it in chili and stuff
Yeah.
like that. It's a whole.
So in Texas, I grew up in Louisiana. So when I moved to Texas, it was like, wow, they make tacos like at everything. As a kid, as a white kid, it was like tacos were a little ground beef with like some shredded lettuce and tomato on it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and then I moved here, and it was like, whoa, they make any kind of like, you know, crazy variants on tacos, right?
Yeah, fish tacos, all kinds of stuff.
And they argue about like what's authentic, what's Mexican, what's Tex-Mex. And then I watch a show. There's a show on Netflix called Taco Chronicles, where they go to Mexico, and they go to where El Pastor tacos were created. You know, barbacoa, different regions, right? And they're showing it in Mexico, and you're going, oh no wonder. Like they're mixing as they're like crossing the border. They're like changing it from like cooking methods and how they do things and whatever else. So like El Pastor tacos, I didn't realize this. El Pastor is like the kind of red stuff with a little bit of pineapple.
Yeah.
Lebanese. Really? The Lebanese and the vertical roaster, when they went into Mexico, brought that along, and they started using local ingredients, including pineapple, and basically created El Pastor tacos. And I was like, oh, come on, that's crazy, like cultural, like hybridization.
Well, you know,
but now it's thought of as like completely uniquely Mexican.
Well, like that's the sort of interesting thing about what you were going on about the whole cultural appropriation thing. I had a conversation with somebody about that recently.
Yeah.
Where it's like there was this whole shitstorm of I'm not going to use any places, but like these two white ladies went to Mexico and they learned about making burritos like the traditional way. They took they took all the information they got and they brought it back to, the States, and they start their thing, and people just, there's a shitstorm. It's just like, you're taking all this cultural appropriation and you're stealing their culture and all that sort of thing. But like, burritos aren't Mexican. And it's just sad because we've locked ourselves into these walls and we forget that all these beautiful things come from so many different people, so many different cultures, and all of them mixing together.
Yeah. Well, see, and I had an interesting thing because I was a cook long before I was a massage therapist. And when I stumbled into Thai massage and then I stumbled into yoga, it was like, okay, how do I continue like promoting and passing this on? So at the same time that we're at an event called Thai Massage Jam, I have a trademark for an event called Thai Massage Jam, the thing we're doing right now. If Tipawan comes in, she's from Thailand. She went to school in Kalin. She came out to the jam one night, and she basically, as soon as she walked in the door, she completely lit up. And she's like, oh, this is just like we do it in Thailand. But the traditionalists are like, no, absolutely not, and I'm like, oh. Like, why do you tell me how to cook in my kitchen?
That's really what it comes down to. That's really what it comes down to.
So even from a food standpoint, what is her name? Oh, I can't remember her name. There's a lovely lady I found. Mama Noi is her mother, but then she, I think, is half Australian, half, I think, Thai. She makes a lot of different Asian cuisine, but it's very approachable to a Western audience. So she's explaining to me fish sauce, shrimp paste, shallots, to make my own like sort of curry paste, nam prik pao. And she's, sharing this with me, and I made like a curry. It was like snow peas and shallots and like shrimp, right? It was wonderful, but it's like, is it Thai? Because basically that's the argument you're getting into.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, I'm white, bro. Like, I'm trying here, okay? Like, it was a good curry, but how's that?
Oh, great.
Yeah.
All loosened up.
Good. It was a good first jam.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
So, I didn't know what I was getting into, but I'm glad I did.
I was trying to think if I could have you do anything to me.
Yeah, I'm like down to learn.
I'm trying to think what would I have you do? Maybe hands and arms. When you stand up, I'll have you work on me for a second. The arm stuff I'll show you real quick. It's real easy, especially if you're going to do acro yoga. Hello. How's it going?
Are we interrupting?
No, not at all. Or actually, yes, but that's what we prefer. Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. What's your name?
Josh?
Josh? Lindsay? It's Robert. It's nice to meet you. Yeah.
I've been here before. I just didn't know if I'm interrupting by coming in at this time. I didn't know what-
No, not at all. We're very easygoing. So you guys come on in. I'm going to walk him how to work on my arms. In fact, if you guys want to lay down on this mat, you can kind of replicate some of what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So what I don't do is, having never been to Mexico, I don't go to New Mexico and tell people how to make food.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is wrong. This is clearly wrong.
That's just messed up.
But I mean, Baton Rouge, is only 8 hours away car drive, but it's hard to get a good pot of gumbo here.
Because they mess up the roof.
Dude, I don't know why. It's not rice and gravy. What are they doing? They're killing me. Boudin, you can go to Lafayette, maybe Houston.
It depends on where you go to Houston, because BB's has some pretty good. It's alright. Can't even fake it. Now you go to New Iberia, Franklin, Louisiana,
Yeah.
oh.
So, what time does this normally start? Is that
Usually
at
8:30.
8:30?
Yeah, 8:30 to 1 a.m. Sometimes we'll end a little bit early if everybody's tired, but it just depends, yeah. During the holiday season, everything kind of slows down. The weather's a little nicer. People tend to go out and do stuff, but...
Yeah. It's winter. The weather's perfect for some reason.
The weather in Austin cannot make up its mind.
Yeah.
It's like 50, 75.
40.
Sweater, sweating. So I'm going to scoot these over so I don't lay on these. Oh, and then I'm going to have you step on my arms. And then Josh, you can watch him do this. Let me see if I can get that unhooked there and unplugged.
I think that's why they're all mad. You don't call it some like super special name. You're just like, could you step on my arms?
Yeah.
But if you call it some like ultra healing quantum.
Well, it needs an acronym.
Yeah. Step on my arm.
It's But see, we'll work on my left arm over here. So basically, like these two bones, you got a radius and an ulna. You just want to put them side by side. You don't want the person stacked up like this. But your foot, essentially what I'll do is I'll have my heel down. And what I'll do is essentially what I call is stepping on the gas. I'm just taking the ball pad of my foot and then stepping it into that big open junction on their forearm flexors. Like right on the inside of the forearm, right in there. And you'll see how my fingers kind of curl. It's just pressing on those muscles deeply enough where it's like, you know how it's hard to open your hand? It's those muscles are going down, inserting over the carpals into the bones in the hand and the fingers. So a lot of people who are having arm and hand pain are having issues with those muscles. But apparently, according to Eli, I have to like name everything with an acronym.
Acronym.
Like an acronym per class.
That'll be 10%.
ARM. There you go. And then usually, if you're at all concerned, the thicker portion up at the top of the forearm, where the muscles are thicker towards the elbow, is usually a little safer. It's a little more dense right there. So down towards the wrist, the tissue sort of tapers. It's a little thinner. So you have to be a little more cautious if you're working down at the wrist. But as long as you're not in the crook of the elbow, like totally fine. Like most people can receive this. It's not an issue for a lot of people. So now, is your heel on the ground?
Not quite.
So change your positioning just enough so your heel's on the ground. And then this portion of your foot, I just want you to be able to lean in. It'll be right in between my radius and ulna right there. So can you just hang out right there?
Okay.
Can you stack your body weight so you're comfortable? There you go. And you can slightly change it if you need to. So for me, what I get is there's almost like sensation down to my middle finger. There's a lot of childhood trauma from Miss Kataya, my band director in high school. Rabbit, rabbit, rabbit. She used to say my name. It's like she's ribbiting. Rabbit. So as you hold that, I'm going to open my hand out slowly.
Okay.
Oh. And you'll probably notice, is my hand kind of pale? I mean, I'm already pretty pale, but it'll cut off some circulation of my hand temporarily. There we go.
Yeah, I can feel the tension.
Yeah. And then I can curl up. I can kind of move around depending on what feels good. A lot of people who are having problems with their carpals, like that, let's say they have carpal tunnel syndrome. If I come see them, they come see me, things like that. They don't necessarily have a problem where they're having carpal tunnel syndrome. They have a lot of muscle pain that's like from their forearm flexors, that's like basically referred pain down into their hand and wrist. So even though you're pressing right there, mostly what I feel is from about here down my hand right now. It's starting to tingle. It feels slightly numb because it's probably very pale. There's like lack of blood flow, right? So when you guys do this, can you get a real close up on my hand right here? So Evan is completely new. I call this an arterial tourniquet. We're going to call it ART. Arterial tourniquet, because they love an acronym, right?
You perform art on our clients.
So my hand's very pale, right? Very slowly. Think about, how when you're a kid and you'd run a hose and you'd crimp it and then that's what's essentially happening to my blood flow right there. Let off really slowly and watch what happens to my hand and you let off really slow. Yeah.
She's got some thick forearms, bro.
Yeah.
wail into her. She looks like she's
Totally safe.
I know, I'm just afraid.
Yeah. Less people have some crazy cardiovascular problems. Had a stroke last week. Otherwise, like totally safe. But just that, like 2 seconds. My arm, I'm just like, oh God, now the other arm. It feels so good. Oh, please do the other arm. Have a new arm again. The shit moves. Oh, it's so nice. Oh.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so thank you guys for tuning in. You can access that subscription service on the link there. It's like 424 hours of my class recordings. And then there's 20% off on the workbooks and DVDs. Should you want that, there's a link there for the holidays. Thank you guys for coming out, and we'll see you again soon.
I'm gonna invent my own Jamaican style and see if people can have it.
Just makes